Leaders inspire, motivate, train, and trust employees to realize the vision they have set. Hey everybody, this is Ray Stendall, publisher of Customer Engagement Magazine and the author of the Customer Engagement Manifesto. I hope you've read the manifesto. I've been getting a lot of great compliments on it recently. So in this video, you're going to discover some of the important principles related to supervision and leadership, because this session is all about adopt and institute modern methods of supervision and leadership with our guest of the hour, Mr. Deming. I wish I could have met Mr. Deming in person. I'm sure we would have had a great interview together. Anyhow, Mr. Deming says, quality begins with the intent, which is fixed by management. Now that's very interesting to realize here, guys, because unless we, as management of our companies, drive quality, drive the quality customer engagement that we've been talking about in this series, can we really expect anybody else to make a fundamental difference and shape the organization? No. If you don't happen to be part of the executive management team, your job is to help transition them, help educate them. It's an uphill battle. I understand that. They have to see the payoff. Sometimes it's possible, sometimes it's not. But I also have here another Deming quote that I want to share. There were two that we just couldn't make our mind up, and let me share this one with you. To manage, one must lead. To lead, one must understand the work that he and his people are responsible for. Did you catch the syntax and the language in that? Let me repeat. To manage, one must lead. To lead, one must understand the work that he and his people are responsible for. You see, a leader is part of the team that's pulling the cart. Isn't just sitting up there whipping the whip to get the employees to do the job. And he has to understand the work. How can you manage somebody effectively and add value to somebody if you do not have the ability to understand the nature of the work that has to be done? So let's take a look at some of Deming's points relative to this key principle. The old-fashioned way of looking at supervision, that of being an overseer of work, should be replaced by a more supportive, counseling, encouraging facilitator. You see, the older approach of essentially being a bean counter in the production world and looking at output, how many widgets were produced per hour, per shift, and essentially being somebody who counts numbers, doesn't add value. When your production team snickers behind your back because they know you don't have the ability to add value and to improve the process, that's a losing battle once you lose the respect of your team. So it's important for a leader, for a manager, to be able to add value to their teammates, to be able to lead by example, and to be able to be supportive and encouraging as a facilitator. These are all key things, because you see, part of what this is all about is helping the employee develop and unfold into their own greatness. It's a part of it. I know it might sound a little wishy-washy, but honestly, if you don't have engaged employees who are benefiting themselves at a personal level, how can you really expect that they're bringing their best game to your operation? Now, clearly, there are times when stern words are needed to correct and to solve problems. But the role of a manager has to be much more of a collaborator, an encouraging facilitator. So let's apply these ideas now to our customer engagement topic here and our what we talk about within the magazine and the reports. So one of the key things I want to suggest to you is that the way you treat your subordinates will directly relate to how your subordinates treat your customers. Please remember that. Write that down. The way I treat my subordinates in terms of the language I use, the tonality I use, the patience that I use, the way I'm collaborative and polite with them and supportive is how they will treat your customers. To be a successful leader, it's imperative that you focus on helping people to do a better job. That's what you as a leader have to do. You have to lead by example and teach. If you don't like to teach, then you're in the wrong business in terms of being a leader in management. Management and teaching and training and inspiring and motivating and educating, they all go hand in hand. Always remember that a happy and empowered employee leads to a happy and engaged customer, which turns or potentially can turn into an advocate. And when you have advocates who are singing your praises in the marketplace, you're going to increase your sales and your profits. So how do you do this? Really, that's the million-dollar question. How do you accomplish all this great work, especially when you're in an organization which is, shall we say, a little bit behind the curve? Well, there isn't an easy recipe. If you are fortunate enough to be starting a new operation where you get to craft and mold your organization and the image that you have for it, you have to hire right. You have to train based on the 3 types of training we talked about in the last video. You have to trust your employees. You have to be willing to trust them, step back, and monitor the results and do course corrections with them. That's the only way they can feel empowered. If you're constantly hovering over them, they're never going to have the confidence to take what knowledge they have and apply it independently without you being there. And that's what you want. That's how you gain leverage. And it's through leverage that you can serve more customers and you can do a better job in serving them. So what's the job of this video? What's the call to action that I have for you in this video? What do you do to empower your employees? Make a list. Pause the video right now. Make a list of what do you do to empower your employees. How do you show them that you trust their judgment? Another killer question. How do you show them that you trust their judgment? How do you help them grow and course correct? Come up with examples. Think about the work that they do. Think about the processes that they go through, the systems that they use. How can you do more of this and focus on tasks only you can do, where you start to get them to do more of the work so that you can focus on doing things that only you can do based on your skills and abilities. So if you found this video useful, as always, please comment and share. Help me get the message out there. It's the only way that we're going to turn this economy around and move the business forward that you're in, that I'm in, that we collectively are a part of in terms of our national economy and our global economy. It's time to get the rubber to hit the road. We got to turn this baby around. So help me spread the word, comment and share. Let me know what you're thinking. This is a two-way collaborative conversation here, guys. This is not a lecture. I'm here to support you. I hope you can see it and feel it with everything that we've put together in crafting this video series. So in our next video, we're going to talk about the next Deming principle, which is drive out fear. Until then, I look forward to catching you in the next video. See ya. This is Ray Stendall signing off.